Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Amused Jester. My name is Junior. Today, let's take a look at two of the Constructicons from Transformers Studio Series. This guy is Bonecrusher and this one's Scrapper. I will never remember their names. And I like the Constructicons and Devastator, but they all look the same to me. One of the confusing things for me is why this guy has a bigger box than this guy. They're both, I think, the same price range. No, let me correct myself. This is $25 and this is $35. So here's the box for Scrapper. Pretty basic back, basically showing what is in here. And there it is. And this one's Bonecrusher. That one same way. And finally this one. So let me go ahead and take them out of the box, and we will go ahead and review and them both together. Alright, so I'm back. They're out. This is Scrapper, this is Bonecrusher. I have to keep repeating that because I will get confused. And this is the $35 one. This is the $25 one. Again, I have to repeat saying that because I'm like kind of confused. But that is so. Now this is, as you can see, basically set up at the same lower level at the feet. Apologies for that. Superion tumbled. They're about the same size when it comes to the head. Scrapper is taller because of this, but I believe this is supposed to be like this way. Okay. Scrapper comes with this and this one, which I think is part of Devastator's gun, and can tab in like so. Seems to be. And then he has his own gun over here. Bonecrusher has this one and this one, which I don't know what it's for. Alright, so let's start with Scrapper. Goes off to the side. It feels like there might be ratchets going forward, but very, very soft. There's a elbow cut. I wouldn't say it's bicep cut. I guess it's a bicep cut as well. Single joint on the elbow, goes up to 90. The hands can go in and out, but that's more towards transformation. As you can see, it's molded into this last piece of plastic. The head swivels a little bit of an up, nothing down. No waist articulation. Hips go up to 90, forward, backwards, sideways. A thigh cut, it twists. A knee goes 90. An ankle that goes sideways and up, nothing down. That is Scrapper. Bonecrusher all around, off to the side, just friction. An elbow goes up to 90 with a rotation since it's a ball joint. The hands are basically molded into the whole forearm, differentiated only by paint. Yeah, the hand simply disappears. I don't like the proportions of this one, as you can see. But he's a robot anyway, so I guess who cares, right? We'll talk about, so it's kind of weird. It doesn't have rotation if you leave it like that. Of course you have to leave it like that because this is his chest. If you unbuckle the chest, then he gets the rotation on the waist. But is that part of the articulation? I don't I would not say so, because in order to complete the look of Bonecrusher, you need to have the chest, and that's part of the chest, and that's limits the rotation. So there is no waist rotation. Hips and legs go up to 90 forward, 90 sideways, 90 back. You can say that that's a thigh rotation. You can say that it is a knee bend up to 90. You could say that this is, I'm going to give it an ankle pivot, but I'm not going to give it an up and down, because in order for it to go up, this has to move. It's not doing that. In order for it to go down, this has to move, and it's not doing that. So only an ankle pivot. This guy looks squat. Visually, this guy is more interesting than this one. They're about the same height. It's got a Decepticon logo over here. Paint application is acceptable. The whole focus is right here in the middle. This guy is more interesting than this guy, Bonecrusher. Bonecrusher, by the way, has a slight up and possible, yeah, rotation on the, and then the head. Just got to move this out of the way. This looks like maybe the shoulder for Devastator. So I would do that, I guess. I'm kind of looking at, I guess I should have looked at the photos before I don't know how this is oriented. I mean, I would rather like that than it was like this, I guess. And I don't like the design of the hands on this one. But again, I'll give it to the fact that it's a robot, so he doesn't need to follow the anatomical structure of a human. It can do what it needs to do. Just doesn't have a waist rotation, but this guy didn't have a waist rotation as well. Look at that. This is gonna, yeah, this doesn't have a waist rotation as well. Yeah, so $25, $35. It comes with this one, and I don't know what this is for, but it seems to, look at that, it seems to maybe work with this somehow. Uh-oh. Did that lock in? Oh, that's really tough to move. Look at that. So maybe this guy is a thigh. I don't know. We'll put it like that for now, so I don't lose it. Oh, you know what? That's got to be a hand. Whatever. All right, on to the review. The Bonecrusher has this gun over here, which is just basic gray plastic. Looks like a gun, futuristic gun. I suppose that's good enough, and you can just put it in his hand like so. Not a problem whatsoever. Bonecrusher is defeated by long distance objects. He can barely hold anything in front of his chest. Alright, Scrapper has this gun. At least his gun is bigger. Even his gun is bigger than Bonecrusher. Unfair. Yeah, so yeah, there you go. Let me go ahead and look at the transformation for these two, and see, and we can continue the review. I mean, like, it's got detail. And look at how short those arms are. It's got detail and everything, but it's like, honestly, with the combiners, I'm always going to be going for the actual combiner, Devastator, Superior, and Menasor. And the bonus is the vehicle mode, and then the robots. Obviously, if they can all three versions can look good, that'll be awesome. But there's always a sacrifice somewhere, right? So let's start with Scrapper. We're opening up the chest over here. We're gonna hide the head back there. We are going to put this 90-degree over there. We'll do this one too. And let's see. There's a tab that is gonna go over here, and let's do that first. We'll tab it in. There you go. Oh, and I forgot, the hand goes in, and that's the tab that will go to that slot. There, that will secure that. I'm kind of afraid, look at how thin this is, and this might break off eventually, so just be careful when you're doing it. Okay, there's that. And we'll extend this over here. Oh, it looks like it was already extended. There's a tab and slot over there, and that one, and we're supposed to flip this over. And then this head, I can't even tell the difference, but I was told to twist that over. And when I say I was told to, I'm going with MGO316's videos. Like I said, he's the one I always go to and everything. So we'll put that out like that this time. And seems this part of the leg can be separated like so. Oh, by the way, if you want to, you can connect these two now. All right. And then you're basically going to go ahead, and this part will go into this part. And push it in. Making sure everything is secure. And what am I doing with this part? I believe, see this tab over here. It's going to go to that slot over there. And do that. Next part, do the same thing there, and you can feel the click, and I think that's pretty much it for Scrapper. And I believe if you really want to, you can actually use this part here to tab his gun. Of course, it's gonna be maybe if I twist this so it goes like this. Nope. The gun will still be like that. He rolls along pretty good, actually. Most of the wheels are making contact on the ground. He looks like it's not what do you call this? Well, he looks like a construction thing, but kind of a lot of stuff hanging on. So it does the job in a way. So let's look at this was Scrapper. Now let's look at Bonecrusher over here. So let's do Bonecrusher over here. Bring it down like so. Put this to the back, and you want to bend it at this connection, not here, on here. That will allow you to utilize this tab to this slot and lock it in place. Same thing on the other side. Bend here at the top, not at the bottom, to allow it to tab into place. I believe we're supposed to remove this here. And then we're supposed to unhinge this whole unit down. This clip kind of scares me because it's really thin, and it's used to, when you're retransforming Bonecrusher, to clip into this one. So this is kind of like, yeah, that's kind of scary. But anyway, so now that we've moved the back over here, we want to put the head into this cavity over here. And I believe this goes inward and around. So just to properly orient this, we want this to go back so you can see the two holes up here. And then now we should be able to swing this in to this spot. There is a small tab and slot on the other side to put these two together securely, and I suppose we're going to use that again to connect these two securely. So now we're gonna go ahead and bring this up like that, and this one goes in here. We'll secure these, and we're gonna put it like so, and getting ready to tab this tab over to this slot over here. Same thing on the other side, and also there's a corresponding two tabs that will go into those two slots. Squeeze everything together. I forgot there is a tab and slot here as well, so just squeeze everything together so they're like kind of tight. But as you can see, if I release this, it just not staying together. And then for this part, you want to bring it down completely here first, and then from this hinge you want to bring that up completely, and this will tab into this slot. And that's how you do Bonecrusher. So visually, Bonecrusher, I guess you can, where can you put this thing in? Anywhere? Here, we'll put it here for now. Visually, Bonecrusher is more appealing to me than Scrapper, because it's just like one big block of machinery, which I think that kind of fits. Whereas this one has all these things on the side, but here they are. They're almost the same length, right? Almost the same width. Again, this is $35. This is $25. I like the fact that he's got actual wheels, whereas this one is just like sliding along here. It doesn't even have any of those small wheels that we used to have. And of course, the beautiful paint that goes here in the ground. The good thing is it's actually recessed into the sculpt. And even his Decepticon symbol is recessed into the sculpt, so it's not gonna scratch as you're slip sliding him off to the side like so. So that's it for transformation for both Scrapper and Bonecrusher. I'm just separating these two and kind of putting it here off to the side as storage for now. $35, $25. Price is base 10 equaling to 35. Price 10 equaling to 25. Value. Alright, so I didn't buy these guys for this. I bought it for Devastator. And to be honest with you, these past few weeks have been difficult for me, and I've been canceling a lot of my pre-orders. Like maybe 70% of them I canceled because it became, a lot of the stuff was unnecessary that I could easily cancel and probably get it maybe at a later time. Bonecrusher, Devastator, I almost canceled this one because I felt like I just wanted to complete Superior and Menasor and maybe no more combiners for now. So when I factor in the value, that factors into the value as well, because that's my present state of mind. It might not necessarily factor into yours. Yours will have a different one. But what surprises me is that this is $25 and this is $35, and I just do not see the difference between the two that would say there's a $10 gap between the two. The only difference I can tell, as far as I'm concerned, is these two weapons for Devastator. Other than that, I don't see the value difference or the price difference between the two being justified. 25 and 35? That doesn't make sense. That's almost, what, 30% increase? No, 50% increase from here, because, you know, 25, middle, that's 12. Add 12 to 25, it's 37 or 35. So they took half of the price of this one and figured, let's add it to this one and make him 35. That doesn't make sense to me. Detail wise, they're the same. Functionality wise, they're the same. Size wise, they're the same. Articulation wise, they're the same. It just doesn't make sense to me, but that's the way it is. So I'm gonna give this one a value of 10. I got exactly what I thought I would get. I'm not entirely enthusiastic by it. I'm not displeased by it, but I'm also not saying anything. Once the value goes higher than the price, I apologize for the movement, that usually says that, okay, you're getting a lot more than what you paid for, and depending on how much higher the value is to the price, the more pleased I am. I just got it and I'm okay with it. There's nothing surprising. The vehicle mode is not surprising. The ugliness of the robot mode is not, could have been better, but I'll still leave it at 10, because I'm not going to be showing this off in robot mode. Bonecrusher. Scrapper, however, is going to be a different matter. Scrapper, I'm going to give him an 8. Technically, I could give him a 9 because of the pricing difference, but we're talking about a 50% increase from this one to this one, right? $35. That's a big jump. And I mean, like, if it was $30, then I'd bring it down to 9. The value, I'm gonna give him a value of 8 because there's really no reason. I cannot find any reason why this guy is $10 more expensive than this one. And that's basically it for my review of Bonecrusher and Scrapper from Transformers Studio Series. This will form Devastator, the combiner. And thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys again on my next review. Bye.